Hello everybody, this is Seneca Harris and I'm coming to you with another video commentary brought to you by the UrbanWire Media Network, where we shine a light on issues impacting the urban community. Now today, y'all, got some good old piping hot tea for y'all. We got a story involving Malik Yoba. And for those of you who don't know who he is, some of you guys that are, post-millennials, I'm more of a millennial myself. I grew up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I watched shows like New York Undercover. And those of you that may be younger, you might notice Malik Yoba. He was an actor that plays on Empire. The reason why we're talking about Malik Yoba, because there was a situation that came up where Malik Yoba spoke out on Instagram about a young man named Marcus Willoghby. Now, Marcus Willoghby was a young man that they said that he allegedly committed suicide because he was bullied because of his liking of a transgender woman. He was in a relationship with a transgender woman. He came out with it, and they said that he had committed suicide via drug overdose. Now, some people are saying that they don't understand the correlation between him having a drug overdose versus the suicide. They were just thinking it may just been a freak incident, but regardless to if it was a suicide or not, this young man was still bullied for being upfront and honest about his attraction towards this transgender woman he was dating. Now, the reason why I'm bringing out Malik Yoba is because he posted an Instagram post, which I'm going to share here shortly, kind of confirming his like for transgender women and his support of men who are attracted to transgender women. Now, he claims that he's still heterosexual and he's attracted to all women, and he includes transgender women in that. And a lot of people are up in arms. There's been a huge debate online, like, is he really straight still? Like, can you be attracted to trans women and consider yourself to be heterosexual? So this has really stirred up a lot. And also, there is a transgender woman that used to be a sex worker in New York by the name of, let me get her name, Mariah Lopez. And she has came out, and baby, she has came out guns a-blazing. You hear me? She got some good old hot tea for you, talking about what he used to do, what he used to like. And she alleges that he had a sexual encounter with him and other young transgender women. Like, this is what she says allegedly when they were younger or underage. So we're going to play the clips from her, giving her account of her experience with Malik Yoba. And I'm going to read his Instagram post, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary, because I feel that there's a lot of hypocrisy as far as women claiming that they want men to be sexually honest with them, but then when they are sexually honest, they are being ridiculed. So we're going to get to all that. We're going to go to some clips, and then I'm going to come back and give the rest of my commentary. This is Malik Yoba's post on Instagram regarding the situation. Attention, black and all men. This is not okay. This video is another heartbreaking example of homophobia, transphobia, hatred, and hypocrisy we as black folks, black men in particular, have to name, face, and call out and do the work to heal. This is exactly why I will be at the Trans March on DC hosting a workshop called Love Plus Trauma, the Trans Experience, on September 27th, 2019. His name was Marcus Willoghby, a 20-year-old baby who killed himself from an apparent drug overdose after his girlfriend left him due to abuse. Clearly, as evidenced in this video, the young man was confident in his choice to love who he loved, but uninformed young men around him have been taught by us that love is love and acceptance of trans love is okay, and bullying has nothing to do with masculinity or heterosexual behavior. Ultimately, his mental and emotional health was not intact enough, and the fragility of his life as he saw it was way too much to bear. Oftentimes, this is the type of shame and ridicule that can lead to murders of women of the trans experience. Not okay. Clearly, he didn't get the support of his peers who think that toxicity equals masculinity and humanity. That being a real man means we must disrespect and demean those that we find themselves attracted to women of the trans experience. The fact that he was trans attracted presumably meant that he had no safe place to go to find support that he needed to learn to navigate love of a woman of the trans experience in a world that constantly tells you that you're wrong. Trans people deserve love and respect, as do those of us that love them. I love all women and count myself amongst those that find themselves trans attracted. And I too have felt the same self-imposed shame that comes with that truth. But it's time to speak up. It's not about the genitalia or sex, but about attraction to the soul and humanity of an individual, and often beauty that is in the courage and conviction to love one's truth. A self-identified cis heterosexual man, I am learning that what it means to be attracted to trans. Many of us, famous and otherwise, that have struggled with accepting our attraction, so we do nothing. This must change.
Thank you all the good folks who have reached out in the last 24 hours, seeing my name, talking about trans attraction. Imagine that, Malik Yoba. So here's the thing, we're human beings, and we're all part of the God body. And so, unfortunately, part of our mechanism is that we need to judge and categorize and ostracize and vilify and demonize the things we don't understand. As a black man, I know what the stories my daddy told me. I know my history as a black man, what it meant for folks to tell you don't matter. I don't believe that. I've never believed that of myself or other people. And so, toward that end, September 27th, 28th, Washington, D.C., the Trans Visibility March on D.C. I will be there doing my love and trauma workshop, the Trans Experience, and I invite you all to join in this.
On this Labor Day, when children are forced into, they can always come forward and tell their story. And if there is anybody that says, oh, you were a kid, and because you are, so understand what I'm saying about Malik Yoba. I had to wake up out my nap for this. I know they're like, wait, she look crazy. Y'all have to understand the context, y'all. I was taking a nap. So I see that Malik Yoba has expressed, let's separate it. If he has adult feelings for trans women, that's his business. But what he did to carry them out when society made it so he couldn't find none except little trans that were teens, we gotta separate those things. Whether or not he is an adult now who decides that this is what he wants to do, but he was an adult then, and he had an obligation. At the end of the day, I look like a teen. These other teens look like teens. You can't tell me he did not know we were teenagers. Bitch, I barely look my age now. What you think I looked when I was 13, 14 years old? You think I look like I was 21, 18, 19? Bitch, they still ID me. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mariah Lopez. I'm known for not lying, you idiot. So if there are a lot of, I'm known for a lot of things. Lying is not one of them. So you can get a lot of people that might have made this type of post, and you can be like, oh, she's lying. Bitch, I'll tell you what the nigga was wearing. I'll tell you what his junk looked like. I'll tell you what we did to each other. We're not gonna shame victims of child. We're not gonna. It sounded like someone trying to take defense for themselves, knowing that the dirt was gonna come out against them. So it sounds like maybe someone might come out against Anthony Extravaganza. We already know the ballroom is rife with, oh, that's my gay child, and y'all taking kids home and being chicken hawks. That's not new. But I agree, Tony. I know I messed with him. And y'all, first of all, I'm gonna spill more tea in this video that I didn't put in this post. I seen him in Brooklyn on Myrtle like a month and a half ago. Ask him. Oh shit. Ask him. So I hear he's trying to get on Pose. I don't really care about none of that. He happens to be making the statements he's making at a time when New York has brand new child laws. Oops. He talking about he loves trans. Where were you loving me when I was needing you to pay for my transition? Why did I have to sue the city? Malik, you had the money, Mr. Yoba. Why did I have to sue for everybody else to get their surgery? Shit. Truth be told, you could have sold this. Malik Yoba could have saved the city a whole lot of motherfucking heartache if he wanted to give me more than the $80 he was willing to pay me that first night. He could have saved me a lot of money, saved the city a lot of money if he would have just said, hey, where's that? But I told you in my post, he didn't like him Spanish. Everybody has their preference. He liked slim African-American girls. He'll take you if you look mixed. And he'll take you if you look clean. He's very picky. He drove a black... I'm going to say his car, but everybody's going to say, you could have known his car. He drove a black Excursion. Oh. Didn't think I remembered? I was 13. My brain was like a sponge. I remember. I'm not going to say her name on this post. She might come on. The girl that told me to walk down the block is my friend on Facebook. She might come on this post. He'll be like, smile if you're there, girl. Tell me if you're watching. The girl that was my girlfriend, she played cool. She's one of them girls, she was never real loud. So I guess I hadn't been paying attention. As usual, yo. Didn't change. And she gave, girl, you know, go down the block. Y'all know what to give. I don't have to walk y'all through. Y'all know what to give. So I'm like, wait, bitch, who? So the way the block was, I couldn't see who she was talking about at first. She didn't give, oh, Malik Yoba. And one more thing I need to stress to you is, at this time in New York history, you couldn't go online and or on an app. There weren't cell phones. You had to physically go look for her. And we had a lot of celebrity clients. He's not the only one. So if y'all wondering, like, why now? Why did I? Because he decided to say something. But he's not the only celebrity. Physically in the West Village, you had Hot 97. You had the Tunnel, Shadow. So there were a lot of celebrity hotspots. How do I... Casey, how do I... Auntie, I'm going to bring you right now, real quick. Oh, I could do it here.
So,
Work, Auntie.
first, congratulations.
Thank you, darling.
And I hope that you continue to move forward
Thank
and
you.
do what a lot of us should be doing is
Thank you.
upgrading our education and becoming more aware of what we say and do.
Thank you,
Well, I hope that we can agree to disagree. I agree. He was out there. I agree. He was a trick. I agree that he had a lot of
And
part,
am I a liar?
lot to do.
Am I a liar? Am
Let
I?
me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. I agree that he had a lot to do with a lot of girls' survival on the show coming up in the 90s. Here's the problem I have is that him coming out 20 years, because it's 20 years later, him coming out 20 years later is what he needed to do in his time. And how he expressed himself and his sexuality at that time was how he did it. I don't recall. Now, I personally don't recall him hurting, killing, or taking from anybody. I heard he was a very nice chick that liked to
Did you
get,
hear what I
well,
just
we
said?
ain't gonna go
Right.
that
I never, right. But I was
Okay, and
13,
so,
and I'm not a liar. And I was a child.
okay, here's what I have to say about our age thing, because you was 13, Charisma was 13. A lot of y'all were in this age bracket where we were forced not because of him, but because of the lifestyle and the unfortunate time that we lived in, because we come from the 90s, you come from the 90s, you were out there, you were there, yes, you were. We had to be out there, or we chose to be out there because we didn't get hormones of Medicaid, and we didn't get
that? And who changed that? And who changed that?
Huh?
And who changed that?
And
I'm not trying to come, Auntie, I'm not trying to pick a fight. What I want to point out is this, right? People that don't know me also don't get that my story is very unique in that I was not just sucking dick on a stroll, bitch. I was going home in the daytime and I was an activist before this shit was hot, right or wrong. I was pumping the law, pumping civil rights on the show, right or wrong, on the show.
Right, no, I'm not disagreeing. What my thing is here is that I don't want us to paint this narrative of, because I heard you speak raped. Oh, I think
I said, wait, what I said, baby? Auntie, tell me.
They said you said rape. I said rape. Are you serious? I posted it so you can see. I said rape. Now, you was a grown-ass bitch at 13 years old with a mouth on you like everybody else. And we went out there and did what we had to do to call rape.
Wait. Are you still, now you're repeating it? Now you're repeating it. Did I say rape?
No,
you're
I'm
repeating
saying,
it. You said it over and over and over
yes,
and over
yes,
and
because
over.
I need you to clarify it.
I need to
hear.
Okay, so wait. Okay.
You say that's what
Nicole,
you're saying.
Nicole, your connection, and hold, I'm gonna need you to stop talking. Did you read my post? Did you read the words in black and white?
It was so many of them. I read some from yesterday.
Okay, so let me just not be defensive and say this. If you read the initial post, it says he was nice to me. Like, you know what?
I seen that part.
Okay.
I seen that part.
So who the fuck? So that's it. And why you ain't just call me?
So Facebook allows a lot of people to change the narrative, and then it's going across that way. So if that's not, then I will be woman enough to say
listen. Let me just leave this at this, and I want to be very fucking clear. You've known me. It's always been a part of my story that I was in foster care and a runaway and changed stuff because of being a runaway, and I've changed the law, healthcare. All the reasons we used to work this role, you don't got to do it no more. You don't got to get pumped. You can get liposuction. You can get fat transfer. You don't need to save your money for no fucking bags. You can go get Medicaid. You can go get your sex change. You can go get your hormones. You can go get your housing. If you're a teen, you can't be put out. If you got fired from your job, the law says they can't do it because of me. So now, at the end of the day, my only thing is that the law says, Nicole, as of August 15th, that anybody that was, while y'all are really skirting the line on supporting sex exploitation, and a lot of y'all leaders should know that sometimes funding can be in jeopardy by not wording stuff the right way because we are public figures. There ain't no grown-ass 13-year-old. That is a oxymoron. You cannot be a grown-ass 13-year-old. And ballroom, because of misogyny and patriarchy and fucked up generational trauma and exploitation of exploited LGBT people of all types, because the butches and trans men do sex work too. Ballroom has allowed sex work to be so normalized, and our fucked up patterns of behavior that someone even like you, as lofty with children, biological children, fix your face, I love you down, to say I get your point about me being a grown teen. You know, I get what you're saying, Auntie, but we have an international platform, and people may misconstrue and continue to fuel the narrative that puts people in bondage. Some sex work slaves, children, are in bondage, slavery, and it continues the narrative if we go, oh, that 12-year-old is hot. She likes it. She's grown. That is inappropriate, and I look back now as an adult, and I know what was wrong, and I can tell that people now. Going back to ballroom, they better not put him on the show now. That's what I said, but bitch, catch this. And isn't it ironic? He wants to go on Pose, and MJ Rodriguez played me and got on the show after playing me in transcripts. Isn't that ironic? He wants to be public so he don't got to pay no more. But ballroom, catch this.
They make the girls grow up into sex objects immediately. Your girl, you working on the show when
I don't think
no.
that's war. I think it's the lifestyle itself. I cannot blame just moral.
That's not what I'm saying.
And that's my opinion. And
Wait. Nobody's saying, listen to me real quick. Nobody is saying, okay, the wording is, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, I am not wrong to say when we are teens, this is what happens. You come out, the elders assess who they want to take under their wing, and that is driven in itself by sexism. So is she pretty, and will she make a pretty girl? Or will she make an attractive boy, the butch queen? And then a boy, then you know this is the structure. You can either vogue or you walk runway, or you're a cute boy for something, or you're sorted into the other category. She'll be real when we moan her. And I
believe that a lot of things have been misused and misused when people are children and they're adults in the scene and the lifestyle. But I don't want the narrative to be painted where, okay, so now when we are older, 20 years older, we go back and we paint this picture like if it was
no, we tell the truth. We tell the truth. We ain't paint no picture.
No, that is the truth. Wait, no. That is your truth. That is your truth, and I'm respecting your truth. But what I'm stating is that at 13 years old, where were you at? Wasn't you at Gramercy at that time? I think.
No.
Where were you at then?
Okay, so what point are you? I'll give you the narrative.
I'm going to make a point. If you can make a point, Mariah, and I don't like that, then allow me to make my point. I asked you a question. Where were you at? Where were your family? I do know your sister was situation. So at what time did you leave home? At what time was you no longer a part of your family that you were out there?
So I suggest you go online and you Google Misplaced by Alexia Lunis. It was a popular selling book. It's published by, I think, Penguin Books.
No, we here. We're all 93 people with 5 people now.
Girl,
and I'm asking a question because it's a valid question. Okay, because we all have to take responsibility and accountability. Whoever that was in our lives or whoever that was with us.
Nicole, I will entertain that. Let me also, and I'm not actually being rude, Auntie. Where I'm sitting also, so I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to give you what you want. So let me explain maybe one time for the record, and this might go viral more than any other video. So let me get it clear. You're right. Let me use this opportunity. If you don't know how I became the activist I am today, let me lay it out for you. I went into foster care when my maternal, that is your mother's mother, grandmother got ill and could not take care of me after my mother died of AIDS. I went into a facility called the Children's Village. Some of my teachers that are from elementary school in that facility are on my friend's Facebook. Mr. Robert Bob Einfrank is a well-known musician. You can go talk to Mr. Einfrank. I was an excellent student. But now here's the answer to your question. Catch this, Auntie, this is very important. So when I was 11, they already knew I was trans. 11-year-olds cannot go into Gramercy, or could not. You needed to be 16. So I'm 11 years old, my grandmother dies, and I did not know my father's family from Fort Greene yet. So I did not know that my father was in prison from doing drugs like everybody else's father in 1990. So the social workers at Children's Village found out about Gramercy. I'm 11, I'm 12. What the fuck? So they take me to visit Gramercy. Now here I'm gonna blow your mind. If you remember Lala, and I remember, and that's when I met Lala, and Laura was Christopher and Yolanda. That's when I met them, when I was 11 years old at Gramercy, speeding up the story. I spent 2 more awful years at Children's Village, and I already started to become the activist. You see it before you started getting in touch with lawyers. Those lawyers said, this bitch is incredible, and we're going to name a lawsuit after her on behalf of all kids and sue ACS because there should be more group homes. She shouldn't have to wait till she's 16. This is going to be the answer to your question. You ready? This is why it's only God that made it so I was introduced to Sylvia, and she became my mother. I didn't know Sylvia even existed. I know none of my history. I ran away from Children's Village on June the 2nd, 1998, because after learning about Gramercy in 97 at the end of 96, because they wouldn't let me attend the Gay Pride Parade. And I ran away on June the 2nd. By June the 3rd, my lawyer at Lawyers for Children got an order from the judge removing me from Children's Village. Is the answer to your question, Auntie. You ain't hear me say none about a village yet, right? I had been introduced on a car trip from Gramercy once to the village on like an afternoon and didn't know where I was. The second day I ran away from Children's Village, one of the residents took me, because that's where I went. Where do you think I went? They snuck me in Gramercy, girl. I ran away from Children's Village. The kids snuck me in. So the next day they took me to the village, and that's when I met the best friend that I'm up here with today. My ex-trans person named Erica Ryan. That's the person I'm up here now. I met that person my third or fourth day, bitch, away from Children's Village. Now catch it. Now where was I supposed to be living? The judge. Now this is what y'all gotta catch is because everything you see now, it took years. That lawsuit wasn't even filed yet that I just mentioned. It gets filed about 6 months after I ran away from Children's Village. Bitch, I was bouncing. You from the Bronx, bitch. I was bouncing everywhere in that period. I was on Morris and 170th in the Bronx in the room. I was at, but you ready? That's when I met the girl. So that's when now when I run away from the places, where do I go? Now to meat packing. Now that's when the girls put me in drag. That's when the girls.
All right, we're back. Now, there's a few things that I want to point out. I kind of feel that the timing of this is just kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say that it's off, but it's just really ironic that Malik Yoba just came out to, and admitted that he likes transgender women. And it's just like, I don't know, it almost seems like either A, somebody had something on him, or B, he was wanting to come out. But I kind of feel that for him to come out now, after all these years, to admit that he likes transgender women, something is going on behind the scenes that we don't know. And that's kind of why I'm wondering why this trans woman is coming out, because she claims to have so much knowledge on Malik Yoba and what he's done in the past. So I guess that's one thing that I just want to, know why is he now coming out? You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of feel like, is it because he wants to be an advocate, or he feels that he doesn't want anybody else to spill his tea? Because, a lot of people have that school of thought. If my tea is going to be spilled, I'd rather be the one that spills my tea. You know what I'm saying? So can't nobody come at me. So I'm thinking it could be that. I don't know. Now the next thing I really want to talk about is men being honest about their sexuality. I kind of feel like, especially in the Black community, I feel like there is a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to this. Like, a lot of women, they claim that they want their men to be sexually honest with them, be upfront. You know what I'm saying? We claim that we want people to be forthcoming and honest about what they like, who, what they've done in their past, and this, that, and the other. But the moment when they do this, they're being labeled. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen some ignorant ass comments in some of these videos regarding this conversation. And it's just like, okay, you calling this man dirty, you calling him this, you calling him that. But some of y'all women that's talking the most crap, y'all the main ones laying up with men now that's cheating on you with other transgender women, men, and other women in general. But I guess since it's with a transgender, it's so dirty and this, that, and the other, but you don't care that your man's sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Susie, and everybody else. Your man don't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? You think you got a whole man when you got a half a man. You sharing community property. You know what I'm saying? And you think you above your man being on the down low. And y'all be the main ones sleeping and laying up with these men that are on the down low. So I think that's a problem within the Black community. We don't want to have a serious conversation about sexuality and sexual health in general. And then we sit up here and wonder why the statistics domestically and internationally are showing that Black women and Black people in general have some of the highest HIV rates and things of that nature. So we have to really be open and honest, because a lot of people don't want to be honest because they don't want to face the ridicule. Then people want to always throw religion and God into stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a whole nother conversation for another time, because y'all use this religion and everything about God, but half of y'all don't even know anything about the Bible. You don't know. The thing is, it was pushed upon us to keep us in check, and we still have a slave mentality. We bound by that Bible. We don't even know if everything in it is real. Instead of us being spiritual, we're more religious than spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to live in reality. Regardless of what you think about somebody's lifestyle or what they doing, people gonna do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like some of y'all have some type of way, feel some type of way about the LGBT community, but regardless to how you feel about it, these people gonna continue being who they are, and they're gonna keep doing what they are, and they're gonna still have the level of power that they have. And instead of us trying to reclaim our power as a black community, we need to be trying to kind of paying attention to them, because for some reason they're more powerful than we are today. So if anything, we should be trying to learn from them and seeing what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of feel that there's hypocrisy. I think, like I tell women all the time, you have to be open and honest. You got to ask your man and be, just come from a place of being non-judgmental, because my thing is, if you keep judging these men and keep saying all this ignorant stuff, it's just going to push people further in the closet, and it's going to continue to affect us as a community, because we're the ones that's behind the times. We don't want to have these conversations. So I feel that I got to respect Malik Yoba for coming out and giving his opinion about what he likes or whatever, and it's not for us to judge. That's his business. You know what I'm saying? Now, all these allegations, I don't know if they're true or not, of this lady called Mariah Lopez or whatever her name is. I don't know. But I just want to bring both sides of the story. I want to bring what he, how he felt and how she felt. And I'm going to let you guys make the decision about that. But I just really respect him in general for coming out and being open and honest, because whether or not y'all want to believe it or not, y'all can be naive and everything else. There's so many men out here that are married, that are booed up, that's out here, like in Andrew Caldwell's words, tipping and dipping. They doing everything, and y'all sitting up here oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can sit up here and bury your heads in the sand and thinking that, my man is above that, but you don't know what these men are out here doing behind your back. And, you so caught up in how a man's mannerisms are, and if he's masculine or feminine, you don't know, that don't mean a damn thing. Because some of the most masculine men can be taking more, than the most Nelliest queen. So just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? We have to foster an environment of, just foster an environment where we can all be comfortable to talk about sexuality, and stop doing religion all in it all the time. Because some of all the foolishness, some of the sexual deviant stuff is going on in these churches. So you can't really just base it all off of that. But just let me know what you guys think. Drop down in them comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this Mariah Lopez, this ex-trans worker, do you think she's credible? And what do you think about Malik Yoba coming out now? Do you think it was just something of convenience? And do you think that he can even consider himself being heterosexual because he has attraction to trans women as well? So get down in those comments. Check us out. Check our podcast out, The T and the UrbanWire. We're on Spotify. We're on TuneIn Radio. We're on Google Podcasts. So check us out, support us, rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.